Welcome to SEOconspiracy.com. PBN, Private Blog Network, Public Blog Network, LinkWheel, Private Link Network. What's the deal? If today, 2020, you still believe that following Google guidelines will bring you results, well, I got news for you. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm saying for 99% of the people, for the website owners, SEOs, it won't work. It will work if you are part of the top 1% of the best of the pyramid of content producers. If you know how to do content marketing well, if you're creative, if you do the job, yes, it works. I've done it numerous times. I'm a believer. Yes, it works. However, I'm not a Teletubbies SEO. I don't, pretend that it's all good. Do a awesome website. Do a website for the user and the rest will follow. No. Not my style. It's right down there. No BS. Okay? You're an adult. You're responsible. I'm just giving out the information. Do whatever you want with it at your own risk. Just don't be an asset. Don't put at risk your employees, your company, your business if you don't know what you're doing. You got ways to do that well. You got ways to do that not so well. And you got horrible ways to do it. But yeah, it's a learning process. When I started off, all my sites got blacklisted. My first website done by hand, no WordPress, nothing. I had to know you couldn't buy the links, you couldn't buy your content. It was pure HTML. I built a couple of dozen websites, and they got penalized, like blacklisted, out of the index. You enter the URL of the website, it doesn't show up. So what do? Well, you integrate the penalty, Google penalty, into the business model. It's just part of the business model, like anything where you don't control all the ins and outs. And SEO, it's a long-term game. There's a lot of similarities with the game of poker. A lot of SEOs play poker. They like that game, because luck is just one part of the strategy. And if you play long term, if you're not a gambler, if you can build a career of a professional, poker player, and like you can build a career of a very successful SEO who is not following those goddamn Google guidelines. Because be the best at what you can be will never be enough for that threshold, for that level required for your content to be good enough. And creating the content is one part of the process. Then you got to publish the content. Then you got to promote the content. Analytics, content marketing, a whole process. Check out my video about the topical mesh. Towards the end, I talk about how I integrate the strong semantic SEO layer inside a content marketing strategy. That's what I do today. But also, I endorse private link networks. That's how I call it. I'm an OG. I'm an old dog. I'm old school. And back in the days, we used to call that the LinkWheel. And so I want to differentiate myself from what you call today PBN, because that's not what I do. So LinkWheel it is, private link network, but not PBN. So first, two ways before we get into the PBN. It's really trendy. Everybody is talking about PBN, but there's another way to get links. It's finding a footprint of spots, places on the internet where it's interesting to put a backlink. Check out the news from last Tuesday. And at the end, I talk about the pandemic backlinks, a thread I found on Black Hat World, where they planted some links on pandemic-related websites. That's another topic for another video. Today we're going to take control of one part of our backlinks, and we're going to try to do it the best way possible, the safest way possible, and even in the worst case scenario, when you get that message in your search console, it's still the best solution. But you gotta wait towards the end of the video to hear about how to get out of a manual penalty in a week or less. But first, let's see how people are not, how I could say it. Well, there's not a lot of finesse. There's not a lot of granularity. And if there's one word you got to put in front of you is variation. Okay, you got to simulate what goes on in nature, and just to have one huge footprint, everything is the same. If I open up Majestic and I enter your domain, and I don't even need to click on the links, okay? Just by looking at the expired domains, I know what I'm going to find behind. What's going to be behind are just a very crappy blog with a few very crappy posts, and most likely just one backlink towards the homepage of the money site. Sometimes you're going to have a few outbound links to try to dilute the signal. Sometimes you're going to have also links towards the other websites of the network. But it's flat. It's flat, meaning that people don't try to do things. They don't use their imagination, and they don't use the most common sense, and they don't know the number one rule of SEO, of link building. You gotta link the link. You gotta link the link. So what do people do? They buy expired domains, they put up some kind of blog, or they take the content from archive.org. That's how you say it in English. They put it up. They put the link right away towards most likely the homepage, or some categories or some product pages if they're like a little higher level, and that's it. So you got the money site at the center, and you got one link, one wheel, okay, one round circle of links concentrated around the money site. Another variation, it's the only thing pushing the website. And I'm not saying it could not work, but it's so obvious that it smells SEO from miles away. I mean, if I just have to open Majestic and not even click on the links, I just see it takes me half a second to see, okay, that's there's a crappy blog network behind this site. What do you think? You take Googlers for really like they know everything. The dashboard they have. Think about it. Google's job is about following links since the mid 1990s. They do that very well. They can follow links. They can see things that you don't see. And we're going to talk about how to hide your footprints, but the most obvious one, and I'm sorry to say, but most of the people who get penalized, they deserve it, because just don't be that asshat who if you are ready to get penalized, if you don't care about that website, all the better. That's the way to do it. But if that website is important to you, and if people's lives, jobs, incomes depend on it, you gotta be a little more careful. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but you gotta be a little more careful. And I do it towards the money side, okay? But I don't put people's jobs in danger. I don't put my company in danger. I know where I'm doing that. I know how to do it. And you could have just like a white horse, your main company website that follows Google guidelines. And then you could have another website and more than one website that use more aggressive SEO strategies. And if they're gone, they're gone. That's how it goes. You put a cross on the tombstone and you move on. That's how I do it, at least. I don't try to revive. And usually, if it's an algorithmic penalty, it's gonna go away by itself. If it's a manual penalty, we'll talk about it at the end of the video. So now, don't do this one circle of PBN, private or public block network, around the website, and you got to be active. You got to relink. You got to build links towards all those websites. Even if I agree that the purpose of buying an expired domain is to save time and or money to rebuild links to that expired domain, and relinking or linking the link, at least in my opinion, is SEO 101. That's whatever you do as far as link building. And even if it's like pure white hat, you do content marketing operation and you get great links from newspapers and such. Well, you gotta link those links too. Link the link, number one rule. So if you don't link the link, already is a big hole in your strategy, and it's not the way I do it. Using only public blog networks, you gotta go private. You gotta own those websites. You gotta control it. Yes, it comes with some drawbacks and some difficulties. You gotta manage them and so on, but we'll go into that. Try to do it the lightest way possible. But I'm not saying you can't use public blog networks, but use that for relinking. Go onto Fiverr, go onto Black Hat World or SEO Clerks, or go on the search engine and search for PBN, public blog networks, and you can use that for linking the link, okay? And let's say you buy like the gold service at $300. Well, buy also the silver or the bronze to link to blast the blast, okay? That's what we call it, the blast. So link the link, even with automated links. You gotta buy some links to link the links. And whether it's for the domains you own or for links you planted here and there, you gotta link them. Don't go overboard. Don't blast like hundreds of links, okay? But drip fed here and there, a little bit. Few from 5 to 20 links. That's what I would send to places where I have a link and that I don't own. For the LinkWheel, we're gonna see how to work on concentric circles, and the further we go from the center, and the looser we could work. So now, let me get my notes, because I'm getting old. My brain doesn't remember everything. So if you want to be on the safe side, what's the frequency of link building today? Back in the days, we could build up to 2,000 links a minute. Because if a link wasn't working, it wasn't hurting you. Then Penguin came around. And what's left of Penguin? I don't know. Not much. Anchor text, maybe, and I'm not so sure actually. But to make it simple, I keep all the backlinks anchor text free. Anchor text, like keyword optimized anchor text free. And I use the internal linking with exact match anchor text to do a proper job, because a link is a link. If you dare to watch the video about the topical mesh, I explain the strategy, and I'm going to go on all year long 50 videos to explain in details how to work out what I call the topical mesh. It's based on semantic SEO, and it's a content marketing strategy with a strong SEO layer and an offsite net linking link building strategy based on a private link network, because it's a continuity. Okay, you got to follow that semantic proximity concept, meaning who is in relation to what and why. On the page, around the page, inside the website, that's the topical mesh. And around the website, also, you got to follow that same principle. Meaning, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper or a mind mapping tool, and at the center, you put your website, and you're going to work out 52 branches coming out of the website with 52 topics. That's the first exercise. And I want you to do those 52 little bubbles need to have topics in relation to your main topic. So you can have a semantic association between, or topical association between what's on site and what's going to be around the website. That's the first exercise. But of course, we're going to avoid having what I just said wasn't right, meaning just having one circle around the website. We're going to do different layers. But just as a brainstorming exercise, build the 52 topics associated with your website. And you just gotta be creative, man. I mean, if, let's say, my strategy, I want to talk about semantic SEO. So I'm going to say a topic associated with semantic SEO would be algorithms. And then beyond that, topical PageRank, Salton cosinus, TF-EDF, Ngrams, and so on. And then another idea could be, I could talk about, internal linking, do's and don'ts. I could talk about, it's the exact same concept, okay? If you know how to build a topical mesh, insight around the topic, if you know how to explore the topic, same exact concept around the website. So first, start with the topics. Then start to be creative about what type of website you're going to build. And that's where my problem comes with PBN, and especially the B of PBN, which means blog. I don't do blogs. I don't do any type of website that requires management. Okay, blogs are pain. You gotta publish. All you will do if you go into this PBN thing is you're gonna build a crappy blog that smells SEO from 100 miles away. No, be simple, be more creative. I like, for instance, I like project websites. I like 5 pages websites. I like, you could build a website about some idea. You have a project for a mobile app. You have a project to save the world. You have the project to build a bicycle. You have a project to whatever it is. Just an idea. And this idea has to be, again, topic related to your main site. And even if you want to go into more complicated websites, stay simple. So no blogs, no forums, none of that. Let's say that you want to do a sharing social type of platform. Well, what I would do is, for example, you build a website where people share photos, okay? So now, well, you're gonna find a way to find photos free of right that you can use. Don't steal content. That's not good. Or transform content, but that's a different story. Just put out like a random number of users that you're gonna build. Don't try to build a real social website. So let's say you have 17 users who are gonna share a random number of images, and that's it. It was just a failed idea of a social media platform. You have the right to put out a site with a great idea, and it didn't work. It just didn't work, but it looks legit. If you want to do I won't do a forum, but why not do Yahoo Answers, like answers question type of website? Well, same. Get like a bunch of users that you build, and also, users that are going to answer or ask questions and so on, and just do it yourself, and then that's it. You could do a directory, okay? Directories are not dead, and to integrate 150 websites into a directory and rewriting the titles and the description, that's not a lot of work. That's easy to do. You could do, I don't know, man, like it's just anything. Go to conversationprism.com and see that illustration of the Web 2.0, and you got all those type of websites that you can build to have something different than just blogs and crappy blogs. Have variation, all type of different sites that are going to bring a little more finesse, that's going to bring a little more granularity, and it's just not going to look so obvious. The best also is not to have just a private link network around your website. The best is, of course, to have some legit links, to do press relations, to do content marketing, to why not a few directories, all that. And do follow, no follow. Yeah, okay. You need a lot of links, and the portion of the links you're going to control could go from 1/4 to 1/3, but I would not go beyond 1/3 of the total number of domains, referring domains, okay? Backlinks, the number of backlinks, we don't care. We just care about the number of referring domains. I would not go beyond 1/3. You could go 100, but you level up as far as the risk. As long as you assess the risk and the potential damage, well, you could go all the way. And I've done it. I still do it. I don't care. It's working fine. That's proof is on the screen. Do you rank or not? Does it work or not? Yes, it works. Is it risky? Yes, like everything else. But again, if you follow Google guidelines, if you just produce great content and wait for links to appear, good luck to you, my friend. So let's talk about frequency a little bit, because in the old days, we could build thousands of links per minute. We didn't care. Now it's the different world, my friend. That's why also I think you need to take advantage of internal linking, and you are sitting on a hidden treasure. So follow up the topical mesh, follow up that playlist on my channel, There's already the long form video where I explain everything, but more to come. So yes, that's going to be a key element. And if you get that mindset, you're also going to understand why around the website, same principle. But while you don't have such limitation inside your site, okay, you can publish thousands and dozens of thousands of pages without any risk, without anchor text like exact match, and no problems. On the offsite, on the backlink side, well, since Penguin 2012, 13, 2012, Penguin. We can have such a high frequency and high volume of links. I would not recommend it. You get a chill. So, like a very aggressive strategy would be one link every other day, maybe 2-3 days. One link a day. That's 30 links per month. That's already a lot of links. And I think, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I remember seeing somewhere that the average link profile is around 30 domains. So not that much, you know? But you're not average, okay? You want to rank on very competitive keywords, so you're definitely gonna need more than 30 referring domains. We're gonna go on the safe side. We're gonna build one link a week with the private link network. Again, it doesn't mean you should only do that, okay? That should be 1/3 of your link building strategy. But we're gonna work on one a week. So 52 at the end. That's why I made you work out 52 bubbles, 52 topics, 52. Well, you don't need to do 52 different types of website, okay? You can totally have I don't know, 5-10 directories. You could have 10 project sites of some sort. You could have 10 well, not 10, okay, variation again. Try to be a little more creative and try to simulate what goes on in nature. So no even numbers and not the same everywhere. Here are my requirements. On the technical side, stay away from WordPress, stay away from content management system that have a high risk of getting hacked. If your link network is hosted on WordPress and especially if you got a bunch of plugins, there is a high risk that one day you're gonna get hacked. Everybody who's been doing this for a long time, at one point, if they were using WordPress, they got hacked. It's not fun. I like HTML, like static websites. Again, those are not blogs. Those are not websites that need to come back and produce content, to publish content on a regular basis. No. I don't see the point of using WordPress or anything else to build a 5-page website. And if you want to go like the social route, well, you can find a script on HotScript or whatever, and yeah, just be careful. But usually those scripts are less risky because less people are using them. And if you're a hacker, you go for the big targets. For example, the plugin that everybody is using is Yoast SEO. I never used any SEO plugins, and that thing is full of flaws, of vulnerabilities, and just gets hacked all the time. So WordPress itself is updating often, but the plugins, that's the weak point. So I like HTML, but if you want to go CMS, search for headless CMS and try to find a solution that not a lot of people are using, because it's going to decrease the security risk. It's going to, you want to be as low as possible as far as the risk of getting hacked, because you're not going to look after those websites every day. You're not going to monitor them closely. And honestly, good old HTML, it works fine. Okay, it's perfect. No database. I started like that, and I'm going back like the old days, because there's nothing better, in my opinion. So now, if you're a high-level dev and you can work out your own content management system with variations of the CSS attributes and all that stuff, and yes, please do. But that's already like a higher level of dev. So the footprints, you got thousands of footprints you need to hide. But to make it simple, what I like to do, again, it's just a mindset thing. Open up a new user account on your computer. And when you open up that account, you are not you anymore. You are someone else. And that someone else is going to make sure that there's nothing linking to you, okay? So that even goes into not using Google Chrome, not using Google. So whether I use Brave as a browser, and I use quant.com as a search engine. And I check the cookies. I don't want any Google cookies on that account. And I really act like I'm somebody else. So of course, I'm not going to register the websites under my name. Of course, I'm not going to link the websites from my domain or to my personal, no footprints. So if you get, I'm not going to list like the thousands of footprints you need to hide, but just by pretending you're someone else, well, for 99% of the things you need to hide, you're going to hide them because you are not you anymore. Follow me? Okay. So that's the quick trick I use to make sure that I'm not going to get mixed up into what I do and what I'm not supposed to link, and leave a footprint. Even just by browsing, you got ways, for example, through the XML, what's that file on WordPress where you can follow where people browsed. Anyway, simple trick, but it works. Been using it for over 15 years. So hide the footprints. Then for content, like I said, no blogs. I want to have content that's not crap content. From the design to the content, I want to make something that I could show to my mom. Okay, that's my test. Can I show it to my mom? If I can, well, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be safe. As far as the design, as far as the content, can I show it to my mom? And honestly, in my team, it takes about 2 to 3 hours to build a website, 100% HTML, with a nice design, with content that is readable, that's, doesn't smell like SEO 100 miles away. That's all I'm saying, try to, and you got to build once a week this website. Even if it takes you half a day, even if it takes you one day, just put a little heart into it. Make it like you mean it. Be a little proud. Make it like it pretends to be a real website. Once a week for 52 weeks. I'm sure you can find a couple hours every week to do it. And I'm not talking about producing a link network private link network per client, 50 to 300. 300 websites if you want to be aggressive, if you are on very competitive markets. A private link network of 300 websites is about what you need. With 50, you starting to have some power. 50, if it's 1/3 or 1/4 of all your referring domains, that's already a good number, okay? You can definitely achieve some very good results with that number of referring websites. And 1 year, it goes like this. If you apply yourself once a week, if you want to be aggressive, build 2 a week. 3 a week is pushing it. 2, yeah, you can. That's still safe. 3, if you really want to be aggressive, but no need. And no need to have like 50 in 1 month. No, spread it out. If you want to do it in 6 months instead of 1 year, it's up to you. But you got it, okay? You got to steal what I say, make it your own, test. But I give you my averages on my experience since 2004 of doing this. Next, relinking, okay? You got to link the link. So that's where you could, for example, buy an expired domain, and instead of rebuilding the website, you 301 that domain to the other expired domain. Yeah, if you missed that step, maybe I wasn't clear, but of course you're gonna go with expired domains, trying to gain some time, because an expired domain, as it's gonna keep, if you buy it well, it's gonna keep some popularity, and authority. Don't believe the domain authority thing. That should not be accountable. It's crap. So if you don't believe me, look at the second video we published on SEO conspiracy, where we tackled that myth with Dixon Jones from Majestic. Domain authority does not exist. On Majestic, check the citation flow. That's the PageRank. On a scale of 100 instead of 10, but the citation flow of Majestic is the PageRank. That's the exact formula of the PageRank, and it's pretty precise. It's more precise than the old PageRank because it's on a scale of 100. So, and before it was going from 1 to 2, 3, 4. Well, it's decimal. And the PageRank 2.6 is not like PageRank 2. And the topical trust flow is the topical PageRank. You get 2 PageRanks in Google, topical PageRank and regular PageRank. You got them on Majestic. Those are metrics, I believe, those are metrics that work. The third metric I use is archive.org. I go check out the domain, and just with the experience, I just look at the domain, I know if it's worth it or not. That's something you gotta cultivate. That's something you gotta train yourself. Just be able to look at a domain on archive.org and know if it's worth it. But otherwise, use one of those expiredomain.net is probably the best free tool. And then I'm a big fan of PBN Premium. But you got a whole bunch of tools helping you out to buy expired domain. And that's definitely another topic for another video. So now, you bought your domain. You build a cool website on top of it, not a website that smells SEO 100 miles away, not a blog, not something that's crappy, just even a couple pages, but make it nice. Make it once a week. You can do that. I believe in you. That's not too much work. Hide the footprints. And I got lost myself. And I was in the linking the link part. So option one is you buy another expired domain and you 301 that domain to the first layer. You could go also into the public blog networks, Black Hat World, Fiverr, SEO Clerks, whatever. I won't recommend anyone in particular. You got to do your own test. But what do? You contact someone, and if in the next 5 minutes you got a reply, that's already a good sign. Then ask some more questions about, can you drip feed? Okay, meaning can you send a link every day, every other day? Can you also link the link? If it's a good one, it's gonna tell you, okay, buy my $300 package, and then to link that blast, buy the $120 one. Link the link always. So yeah, you can use public blog networks to link towards your newly created LinkWheel. Or layer 2, you can save the automated public networks for layer 3. Layer 2, you can still keep it all like proper, let's call it this way, okay? But you could go a little faster. Maybe it's just going to be one page type of website, okay? You could put up one page, then the legal stuff and the contact or whatever, just one page website, okay? One page. Could be a website for an agency that never existed. Could be the website. It could be for someone looking for a job. Okay, could be anything. Just one page. That's layer 2, and layer 3 could be automated and so on. You could have 5-10 layers. 3 or 4 is enough usually. But the further you go from the center, and the less proper you can be, if I make myself clear. Don't link those websites together, okay? Who is doing what is very important. So the first layer is not linked together. It's linking the money site. Layer 2 is linking layer 1 and the money site. Layer 3 is linking layer 2 and layer 1, and not the money site. But you need to build outbound links. I have a 3-month process where during those 3 months, we do some FTP access, meaning we change an image, a word here and there, upload the page, delete the page, just bring out some love to the website during 3 months, change a few things, put out outbound links to authority websites, but no Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not playing the game. All the outbound links are no follow, so be a little more creative. You can link even to PDF. You don't need to link to HTML files. You can link to a bunch of files, okay, that are authority content. PDF are very good, usually very quality content compared to HTML type of content, or .doc also, or .xls, or .rtf, txt. File tap operator, and look for specific documents. So during those 3 months, we're going to send lots of outbound links to many different websites, again, all topic related. And then during this 3 months process, links to the website, not always the homepage. If you build a topical mesh on your Monday site, all the better. You got certain hubs, you got certain pages on that topical mesh that need to get backlinks. So it's all natural. There is not, okay, on the week 6, we put systematically a link from the homepage of the link network site to the homepage of the money site. No, all natural, all blurry. It's just a few weeks process where it makes it natural. and the link to the money site is all blurred out inside a bunch of outbound links. And don't be greedy. There is no leak of PageRank. It's not true. Then if you want to get really high level, then you got to learn how to manipulate the PageRank and the reasonable surfer. You can train the reasonable surfer to come back. We are starting to get a little bit high level. I would probably will do a video on that because that's very, very interesting, but let's keep it simple for now. But here are some keywords for you, okay? Reasonable surfer, topical PageRank, learn how to manipulate the PageRank, learn how it works, and how you can make PageRank stay within your network, even if you send some outbound links. And the best is 1, 2, 3 level and then coming back. And you can also learn that the no-follow, the rel no-follow is evil. It's like a condom. The juice is wasted for everyone. It stops there. Don't no-follow the outbound links. And that's it. If you see, simple, okay? Think that you gotta hide the footprints. Think that you got the low tech. Don't go high tech. Don't build websites that are very sophisticated with a lot of public plugins, complicated, and especially using a script that is very popular and that is most likely to get hacked. Then, what are the problems with private link networks? Expensive. If you go industrial, if you start to build a network of 300 websites per client and you got dozens of clients, yeah, that's a big machinery, and you're gonna need to invest in a tool, and that tool is gonna take months, and it's gonna cost hundreds of thousands of euros, dollars, pounds, wherever you like, wherever you live, and whatever money you spend. At your level, with those 52 websites, well, let's say that you spend an average of, it could be $6 to buy expired domain if it's free. Then if you don't go overboard, don't spend thousands. You could spend hundreds on a few of them. Let's say on your core, 5, 10 of them. But then the rest, you're gonna spend a few, like 2 digits, okay? And is that expensive? Well, I don't think it's that expensive compared to if you really want to do the right way, the content marketing way, with the multimedia, with the whole process. It's cheap. So yeah, expensive? Yes and no. Is it more expensive than putting the link on free spots around the web? Yes, of course. As far as money-wise, then time-wise, to find the spots, to put the links and then have the risk of losing the link because something is going to happen, you got to do both, okay? You got to do both. And the art of putting a link on the spot is a topic for another video. Is it also hard to maintain? Again, it depends. If you go HTML like I do, you can sleep. You can sleep well. You're not gonna hit hack. It's impossible to hack a HTML website, especially if you don't use JavaScript. You don't stay away from JavaScript. Stay away from databases, and you'll be fine. Then you can also say that it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Because you're going to get penalized and you're going to lose everything. Well, no, you don't. Because we're not totally at the end of the video, but we're getting there, and I'm giving it to you now. Even if in the worst case scenario, if you do a good job, you don't risk an algorithmic penalty. It will not happen. If you do it like I do, okay? Being on the safe side, being natural, no footprint that just, even with the anchor text, even with everything, okay, natural, variation, be soft, less is more, do it well, and you won't risk an algorithmic penalty. It can't happen. Never happened to me. It can happen. What could happen is, especially if someone tells on you, the spam report, and you get a manual penalty, a message in the search console. Well, you got control over the links, so you can delete them. And I swear, 1 week, it takes 1 week max. You do the resubmit. What you do is say, hey, dude, Mr. Googler, I'm just a webmaster. I'm just a website owner. I don't know what SEO is. I don't know what a backlink is. All I know is I hired a SEO, and I got the message, and I told him to remove all the links, and he did. So now it's all clean. A few days later, you're going to be back. If you bot links, if you spam comments, if you guest blogging, well, you got to contact everybody, because let's make it clear. Disavow file does not work. It's useless for an algorithmic penalty. It's useless if you don't have any penalty, but just crappy links. It's only a little bit useful if you get a manual penalty. That's the only case where disavow file could be useful, but it's not as efficient as removing the links, like physically removing them. So if you got control over the websites, that's okay, done. If you don't have control of the websites, you got to contact webmaster and work out to get the link removed. That's a big hassle, and it could take months. So since I said you only have 1/4 or 1/3 of your links that you control, well, let's say that another third is a little bit spammy, guest blogging, paid links, and all that stuff. And there's another third that's all natural. If you clean up instantly 1/3, and you clean up like half of the spammy third, well, that's good. Okay, you don't have to remove like 100% of those bad links. You just got to show the Googlers that you really mean it, and you are proactive, and you really want to. You are sorry, and you wanna get back in the game. If they see that you are making a strong effort, they're not dogs. I mean, they will unpenalize you. If you get some kind of algorithmic penalty, well, just don't touch anything. Wait, and it will get lifted off. It will expire after a certain number of days, month. Longest I've seen was 1 year, exactly on the birth date of the penalty. 1 year later, it's lifted. That's for algorithmic penalties that get refreshed, not the manual filters. Like there's a it was a feather that was flying in front of me. Not like the way they did Panda and Penguin, like launching a manual filter. And Penguin, we had to wait years. I forgot, but it was years between a refresh. Penguin was not working well. Panda worked wonderfully well. Penguin, not that well. So yeah, I don't think there's so much left of Penguin in the algorithm, in the core algo. Well, Panda, yes, there is. So now, you got control. You save time. You got instant gratification. If you buy a good expired domain, right away, instantly, you gain like PageRank, topical PageRank, authority, whatever you call it. No outreach. You don't need to contact people. You don't need to submit. You don't need. You're just in control of your own destiny here. And like I said, even in the worst case scenario, manual penalty, It's all good. So now, to end up, what I'm going to draw on for the next discussion about link building. Yes, I'm a big advocate of content marketing with a strong semantic SEO layer. That's my game. That's what I do. I build a strong SEO layer based on semantic SEO, what I call the topical mesh. And then I do everything around SEO for SEO to work and also for the rest. My goal is to build a pie of analytics of your traffic in 3/3. 1/3 is popularity, meaning keywords in a search engine. 1/3 is notoriety, meaning referrals. People sending you high qualified traffic, and that might or might not count for popularity for the PageRank. If it's a no-follow link, if it's an influencer on Instagram or Twitter sending you traffic, it won't count for PageRank. It might count indirectly because there is agitation around your content, but that's another topic for another discussion. What I call the person rank, the vote of trust given by a user. Yes, it works. Yes, it counts, but it's no comparison with the strength of a backlink. Even internal links are not as strong as a backlink. There is nothing stronger than backlinks. Title tag and backlinks. That's SEO. That's the way SEO worked in 2004 when I started, and that's the way SEO works in 2020. Now, the problem is you just can't push as hard as you could with backlinks, but it doesn't mean that backlinks are less powerful. That's still the most powerful SEO asset out there. You just can't play with them as hard as you could before. So yeah, the other ways to do it: content marketing with a strong SEO layer, media buy, either ads or Tuesday I spoke on the SEO news. I spoke about the Google Discovery. Okay, you got Google Discover, that those suggestions on, especially on the mobile, on Gmail, on YouTube, on the google.com page, especially on mobile, right? You can appear there and you can buy ads to appear there. It's brand new. It just started. Invest right there, right now. Once something like this appears, you want to be first to test it out, because once everybody gets there, it's burned. You can leave. You should be in the business of undervalued attention. Even if it's paid, I like to pay, but I like to pay at the lowest cost for the highest ROI. That's the way I do it. So now, listen carefully, because we're going to talk about buying links, the art of buying links, and the same. No BS here. No, like I'm saying something in public and I'm doing something else in real life. And trust me, they all buy links, okay? They all have a link network. All those agencies, all those people who have big talks, big mouth, they all do it. But in front of the camera, in front of a crowd, on forums, on Twitter, they pretend they don't. Yes, they do. Of course they do, like everybody else. Except the top 1% of the pyramid of content creators, those who are really good. And I claim to be one of them, whether you like it or not. Yes, I've been in the game for a very long time. For the past 5 minutes, I've been doing it in English, but unless you didn't notice, I'm French, and I've been doing it in French since 2004, this whole content marketing game, because I come from marketing, branding, and communication background back in the 1990s, 1994 to be exact. So to integrate SEO into content marketing was just natural for me. But I'm also wearing black hat, not for show, but to remember that it looks cool, but I studied SEO as a black hat, and I'm not ashamed to say it. In my bio reads search engine hacker, which is different than black hat, okay? Black hat SEO to make money. I'm a search engine hacker. I like to find flaws. It's just a mindset. I like to find myself, the thing that I can use. I don't read a forum or Reddit and use something. I like to be the one who finds the flaw. And I did that. If you go search for Dark SEO team 2007, that was the day my team of search engine hackers, my crew, we got famous. Thank you, Matt Cutts, for the homage. So you got buy links. I'll explain that in a video to come out soon. And you also, my bonus tip for the day is how you can manipulate a journalist. Are you interested? So listen up. This is what you're going to do. Pick out a target, a journalist that you want that journalist to publish something regarding your website. So that journalist needs to be interested in your industry, and you're gonna build a persona. So open a whatever email account, build a LinkedIn profile, leave a few footprints. Okay, if my trick for photos, you look at a replay of a TV show and you take a picture of someone, a screenshot of someone in the crowd. And if you want to be really safe, take the replay of an old TV show and take a screenshot of someone in the crowd. You got a real photo that is not seen before on the web, and build a little persona. Leave a little footprints that is that persona somehow born on the web and has a little presence. Not too much. You don't need to go Twitter and so on, but yeah, a little bit. Then, during at least 1 month and a half, 6 weeks, 1, 2, 3 months, you'll feel it when you can go to the next phase. You're just gonna, it's called ego bait, okay? You know that journalists think they are super beings, okay? They got such a big ego that you're gonna play with that. You're gonna send that journalist emails that just gonna be exhausted. I mean, you're gonna be amazed by what that person writes. You're gonna write an email. Okay, I read your article on this and this, and in that paragraph, what you said here, man, I couldn't sleep for 2 days because you blew my mind. What you said here in this sentence, this is very deep, and so on and so on. Don't be crazy like writing every day, but what you want to be is an authenticated email address. Okay, do you want a reply from the journalist? If you boost that ego, that person is going to reply, and bingo. 80% of the emails that a journalist is going to look at, like commercial emails, like press release type of emails, are from known sources, meaning if you are not in identified contact in the inbox, no chance the journalist is going to take a look at your email. So first step, get identified as a source in the inbox. Step 2 is get identified as a real source. So after you send a bunch of very nice and amazing emails about how great that work is, start to feed some links. Find some sources around the web and say, okay, yeah, you talk about this, and I found this link. Well, for example, I'm French, and I say I find this article in French, but here I put it through some translation tool, and so you can understand it. And I even made a few corrections. But I think this is a very reliable source. So that's a really like official, reliable source. Okay, real source. And then doing like this, you're already doing some work, helping out. You translated automatically, but then you corrected the automatic translation for that journalist to understand better what's going on the page. And then little by little, you can even write out the entire article, give it to the journalist, and he or she is going to post it as is, including your links, including the links with your website. I hope you are less scared, and you might even want to try the art of the LinkWheel or the private link network. Stay away from the so-called PBN. Stay away from the blogs. Use it wisely. Know what you're doing. Experiment. Don't complain if it all goes to hell. It's part of the game. SEO is a game. It's a wonderful game. Just don't be an asshat. But gray, white, black, Google. I can't even say the name. Google guidelines are not the law. You are not breaking the law if you manipulate the PageRank. And like I said, even if you get caught, we got a plan. Thank you for watching.